We got rumors and revelations to talk about today, guys, but before we get into any of that, we have an announcement to make about Dungeon Fighter Online. Dungeon Fighter Online, otherwise known as DFO, is a 2D free-to-play multiplayer hack-and-slash MMORPG with 16 different characters, but each character has 4 to 5 different classes, essentially making every route a different experience with customizability. And you guys know how much I love gameplay customization, right? Every 2 weeks, DFO is updated with new content, so there's always something to do, playing solo or raiding dungeons together with a party. The level cap was just increased from 100 to 110. So now is the perfect time to get into DFO. In the description below, I have a welcome code to give you guys 10 free life tokens, 50 Remy's Sparkling Touch, and a funky avatar complete set with the hat, face, torso, and bottom to match. Just my way to get you guys started with some goodies to go. And not only that, if you click the link below, you can download and play Dungeon Fighter Online with me. I'll be maining Kunoichi. Comment below who you guys are going to be playing as. And if you already play DFO, who is your main? Now with that being said, let's get into this video. When I tell you guys we are in for a crazy amount of Final Fantasy VII content, it actually means we are in for a lot of content. Oh what, you thought we were going to stop after Ever Crisis, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Crisis Core Reunion? No, in fact, it's going to go much further than that. I cannot reveal the source, but we received hard confirmation from an individual who is actively working on a new Final Fantasy VII game. And no, it's not Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Remake Part 3, or Crisis Core Reunion. This individual is working on a Dirge of Cerberus remakester, the third-person shooter Vincent Valentine focused game, which is going to be fashioned and revamped just like how Crisis Core Reunion is currently being done. Dirge of Cerberus Remake almost for sure will have a rename in its title. I think it might be Redemption. Comment below what you guys think and let's get a discussion going. If you're excited for all these new Final Fantasy VII games on the way, hit that like button. Let's get this video to 1,000 likes and send the hype through the roof. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more Final Fantasy content. We have lots on the way and only 35% of you guys are currently subscribed. Let's break this bar and go beyond our limits because we're so close to 60,000 subscribers. Now that being said, let's get into the video. Normally, a Dirge of Cerberus remakester would scare off most fans, but with the recent news about how Crisis Core Reunion is doing more than just a graphical overhaul, it's got myself and many others excited at what this could mean. With Crisis Core Reunion, it's more than a simple remaster. From revamping the combat system, adjusting character animations with blocking and ability casting, in a way, creating combo cancels with 60 frames and maybe more, to reworking the camera too. It's going through some much needed improvements, and it's not just quality of life stuff. It's essentially overhauling lots of aspects of Crisis Core while adopting a Final Fantasy VII Remake approach for many things, such as adding in voice acting for previous text-only scenes, which is huge. This is why I dubbed thee a remakester. As we know, a few days ago, some interviews with Nomura dropped, and he seemingly stated that there are no plans for a Dirge of Cerberus remakester, and stated that he just wanted Vice and Nero to show up to represent the other titles and expand on the Final Fantasy VII world. But in actuality, he is planting seeds by making them appear now to prepare for something in the future. On that same day, there was another interview with translations posted by Turquoise Hammer, where the interviewer asked about Dirge of Cerberus remakester as well. And Nomura states that Dirge of Cerberus takes place after the events of Final Fantasy VII, which is true. It is the latest in the chronological order of the story, taking place about 1 year after Advent Children. Nomura then says the most important thing on the table for them right now is to finish up the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy first, because Dirge of Cerberus technically explains the ending, and they will think about the Dirge of Cerberus remakester after they've already finished the 3 remake games or get close to finishing it. And I'm gonna be honest, guys, I don't believe them. These are the same guys that said Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 was not changing, and we got a Kingdom Hearts DLC at the ending there, which again, I don't hate. For those questioning, I love Final Fantasy VII Remake. If you've been around for a while, you'll know that, and I cannot wait to see more. However, I don't believe them about nothing is changing. Until I see it, I have my doubts, because as of right now, a lot currently has changed. I full on think that they already have planned out the Dirge remake and any other remakes that are coming for the Final Fantasy VII compilation. According to the source that I heard from, they're still in early planning phases, but it will follow the same structure of a remaster with the care that's being put into Crisis Core Reunion. And Nomura very well could be deflecting until the time is right and they feel comfortable announcing it. which is odd to me that they feel strange about releasing Dirge because it would spoil the ending of Final Fantasy VII story when they're doing Crisis Core Reunion, which in my opinion will spoil one of the best moments of Final Fantasy VII story, the Truth of Nibelheim, which is the climax of the game to me. And I get it, they want to do that so this way they can showcase to newcomers who exactly Zack is, but at what cost though? Going forward with Dirge of Cerberus for a remake, it has me super intrigued at just what they can do to improve the game. We know camera improvements can go a long way, especially with a third-person shooter. And just like with Crisis Core Reunion, they would on top of that tweak the graphics, character animations, character abilities as well as the camera, and going towards redoing the voices for new characters, while also voicing more areas of the game than previously were. Who's to say they don't go an extra mile and somehow bring back the multiplayer game mode Dirge of Cerberus had? I wonder if this is something they would consider reworking. How about instead of doing that, they just bring First Soldier to consoles and PC finally, man, please. But all of this news just gives us more reasons to enjoy more content. The main reason I'm excited to hear more about Dirge of Cerberus Remake is because it would let us know exactly who is voicing Vincent Valentine. Since these remakes are using the remake new actors to revoice dialogue from the older games, it means whoever is Vincent in the Dirge remake will also be Vincent in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and future parts of the games. The source of this leak said it's unknown who the actor is right now and is being kept under wraps, locked away tighter than his own goddamn coffin. But as soon as we see any trailers for it, I think we can get a good idea on who the voice actor just might be. As we all know, my viewers in the comments are the best detectives with this sort of stuff. Aside from just Dirge of Cerberus, it seems that the whole entire Final Fantasy VII compilation is on a set path towards getting a remakester in the FF7 universe. We have Crisis Core Reunion, then Dirge of Cerberus remake, and then we have Ever Crisis, which is a mobile remake with a beta that's supposed to drop sometime this year of all the games and movies. They have all their original storylines and all the games returned into turn-based combat style. Ever Crisis has Crisis Core, Dirge of Cerberus, Advent Children, Before Crisis, and the original Final Fantasy VII game. 3 of those titles have separate remakes coming, and I'm willing to say that we just might be getting a Before Crisis remakester somewhere down the line. Square Enix is diving headfirst even further on the deep end when it comes to milking Final Fantasy VII, and I'm all for it. You could even say they are in the deep ground, am I right? Dirge of Cerberus saw its villains Nero and Vice get new voice actors, and they were placed in intermission alongside Yuffie and Sonon to tag along that journey and provide a villain for its ending. Within Yuffie's DLC, she had a situation occur with Nero, and I think that element is going to come back into play for sure in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Part 3. But even more so, I think it might have an extra ending of some kind, without Crisis Core Reunion just might as well, which will lead back into Remakes' series somehow. What do you guys think about all this? Let me know in the comments below. Will you be buying a Dirge of Cerberus remake, granted, if it is a completely different and better game overall? And is Redemption going to be the Dirge of Cerberus rename? So many questions. I want to hear what you guys think about this. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy VII videos are on the way and you won't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.